We are discussing in the topic of integral transform of your curriculum, and on the last lecture, I can say up to the last lecture, I discussed about integral transform, in which I discussed Fourier transform. And then completely I told you about Fourier transform means what is the Fourier transform, what is the inverse of Fourier transform. Then after taking real and imaginary part, we found two other transform. One is called Fourier sine transform and the other is Fourier cosine transform, and accordingly we have discussed and we have defined about inverse Fourier cosine transform, inverse Fourier sine transform, and then Fourier integral. And then I took some properties of Fourier transform like linearity, shifting property, modulation property, etc. And also I took some numerical examples to understand the topic fully. And then you see that this is the Fourier transform. I hope you go through the notes and standard books, and after this lecture you feel that you have cleared some doubts about that. Now, from today, I am going to start the next part of this unit, that is Z transform. That is Z transform, right? Z transform actually, this is not an integral transform, because I have already told you in the introduction. Actually, transform means transformation, and you have to see what is the tool of the transformation. In case of integral transform, we use the integration, so that is called integral transform. In integral transform, there is number of types of the transform, like Fourier transform we have just discussed, and Laplace transform, that is the next topic of our syllabus. That is the next unit of your curriculum, that is the last unit of that curriculum, Laplace transform. And Z transform actually is not integral transform, means in this transform you have to also transform something into another form by using series. Here we use the summation, we use the series. So here we take the sequences, and we have to transform that sequences into form of complex number, another form, and so it is called Z transform. Z is a complex number. Here, what is that? If we take UN be a sequence for n equal to 0, 1, 2, and so on, various discrete values, and also we have UN is equal to 0 for negative n. Right? Then Z, capital Z, transform of UN is denoted by Z of UN or U of Z, and is defined as Z of capital Z. This is capital Z of UN is defined as sigma n equal to 0 to infinity UN Z to power minus n. Right? Actually, this series is the Z transform of UN. If you expand this, because this is an infinite series, what will we get? That is UA. U0 is the first term. If we put n equal to 0, n equal to 1, U1 upon Z, U2 upon Z square, and so on. And a term UN upon Z to power n plus so on up to infinity. Right? This series is our Fourier Z transform. Here you see that U0, U1, U2, UN are the sequence. Sequence means you know that collection of numbers usually. So these are some numbers, and this is a small z. Here a small z is a complex number. We have already studied about that. complex numbers, z equal to x plus iy, or z equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, and simply z equal to r e to power I theta. So if you see that the right hand side is a function of z, so it is also denoted by capital U of z. This is the z transform, right? This is a series. You can sum up this series in a function of fz, in a function of z, by using standard form of the series like exponential series, binomial series, geometric series, and so on. And by the using of those application, you can sum up this series in form of function of z, right? And so this is uz. So this is the basic concept of the sequence. And from here, you can also define as inverse of z transform. Inverse of z transform, right? Actually, if z of, this is capital Z, right, which is denoting z transform, and this is small z. Z of u is n equal to u of z, and then that means here un is the inverse, that is the inverse z transform of u of z, right? This is the inverse z transform. I will discuss this of the z transform in detail, how you can find the inverse of z transform, but right now only you see that uz is the z transform and un is the inverse z transform. Right? This is the basic definition of the z transform. So here you see that and compare with the Fourier transform. Fourier transform is also a transform in which you transform the function with the help of definite integral. Here we change also the sequences, numbers, by using concept of infinite series, and so it is called z transform, right? Now take some standard forms of the z transform first, and then what is the property? What are the properties of the z transform? Is the first standard transform, some standard z transform. If we take z transform e to power n, where this is sequence, you will get this is z equal to z minus a, where a is a positive constant, where a is a positive number, right? You can prove this. This is standard formula. You can use it directly. If first we have proved by the definition, we know that by definition of z transform, a to power n is a sequence. Z transform of a to power n by definition is equal to sigma n equal to 0 to infinity a to power n z to power minus n. This is the by definition of z transform. Here you are taking a to power n is a sequence, right? Now this is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity z to power negative. It can be written as a to power z whole power n. If you combine the power, because z2 has a negative power, so you can take in denominator as a z to power n. After combining, we get this. If we expand this series, then first term is 1, a by z to power 0. Second term is a upon z. Third term is a upon z square plus 1 up to infinity. Right? And here a is positive. So if we take a upon z is less than 1, then this is a geometric series, and you know that sum of geometric series is a upon 1 minus r, where a denotes the first term of geometric series, r denotes the common ratio. Here first term is 1 and common ratio is a upon z, so by the sum of geometric series, its sum is a 1 upon 1 minus az. If you take the LCM of denominator, then it converts into this denominator, and finally we get z upon z minus a. That is your required result. That is your standard formula of z transform of a to power n. Now, in any numerical questions, in any sum, if you have to use the z transform of such type of sequence, then you can use this formula directly, and it can be elaborated, it can be transformed different forms. Like if we have sequence 2 to power n, then by this formula we can write the formula z upon z minus 2. If we have z transform of 3 to power n, then z upon z minus 3. If we have z to power 1, 1 to power n is 1, right? So this is 1. So this is simply z upon z minus 1. These are the formula based on this standard result. You can use these results in anywhere where you have to field use of this in any numerical sum or question, right? This is the first standard result. Now, similarly, we take second numerical results, that is z transform of n to power p. This is you have to prove minus z d by dz of z transform of z to power p minus 1 n to power p minus 1, right? This is if n to power p is this with this sequence. Here again, here p is positive integer. P is an integer and that is a positive integer. So you have to prove this in this form, in form of derivative. This is a standard result, and by this result you can also find some particular result. Those can be used directly in a calculation of numericals or sums based on the z transform. First, we see the proof of this standard result. Then, by definition, z equal to n to power equal to sigma n equal to 0 to infinity n to power p z to power minus n. Right? This is the definition, and by now you have to prove the right hand side in this form. So we have to some manipulate like that. From here we take z is outside, sigma n equal to 0 to infinity. There and p to power minus 1, write this in this form, and then and here z to power minus n plus 1 for balance, and take this as equation. Here we take z is multiplied and z is divided, and we break n to power in two parts, n to power p minus 1 and minus 1. Right? Now we calculate the this right hand side separately and see what is the meaning of this. If we take this d by dz of z transform of n to power p minus 1. First we calculate meaning of this. What is the meaning of this? So this is d by dz, z transform of this is n to power p minus 1, z to power minus n. Right? If you differentiate this with respect to z, so here n to power p minus 1 is constant, and differentiation with respect to z, that is minus n, z to power minus n minus 1. Right? Then we see that this is minus n, and this is minus n to power p minus 1, z n, and z to power minus n plus 1. Right? If we see this is take as equation 2, then from 1 and 2, finally we get z transform of n to power p. Substitute the value of this. This is minus z minus and d by dz of z transform of n to power p minus 1. Right? And this is your required right hand side. So this standard result is again proved by this, and you can use this directly in the numerical questions. Right? These are two standard results, and there are a number of standard results you can define. You can calculate directly by using the definition of Z transform. Right? Now, before explaining the different properties of the Z transform, for more explaining this, I will take some numerical example by which you know how you can apply the Z transform on the given sequences and find the value of that. So first, here I am taking some numerical examples. Yes, before I start to the properties of Z transform, I will take some numerical example by which you know what is the actually application of Z transform and how you can use in numerical question. First, I take the example that is if u1 equal to k, where n is greater than or equal to 0, be the constant sequence, because key is a constant, right? Sequence, then you prove that Z transform of k equal to zk upon z minus 1. Very simple numerical. You can solve it directly by the definition of Z transform. Z transform of k, by definition, this is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity k into z to power minus n. If you take this negative power, so we can write this k upon z, right? And you can open this. First term is 0, second term is 1 by z, so third term is, if you put n equal to first term is, you can k take it outside, and this is z to power n. If you open this range, first term is 1, then 1 by z, then 1 by z square, and so on. This is again geometric series, and sum is 1 upon 1 minus z, because here 1 by z is common ratio. If you take the LCM, then you will get simply the required result. Right? This is the first question. Second example, I took this. You prove that Z transform of 1 upon factorial n equal to e to power 1 by z. Right? This is a sequence 1 upon factorial, and you know that n is a partial number. Factorial n means, you know that factorial 1 is 1, factorial 2 is 2, factorial 3 is 3 into 2 into 1 is 6, factorial 4 is 4 into 3 into 2, that is 24, and so on. So this is the factorial n. So you have to find the Z transform of this. Then, by definition, Z transform of Fourier, that is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity 1 upon factor n z to power minus n. This is directly by definition of Z transform. You can write it as n equal to 0 to infinity. This is 1 upon z to power n upon factorial n. If you substitute the various values of n, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and expand this series, we get 0 means 1, n equal to 1 means 1 upon z upon factorial 1, n equal to 2 means 1 upon z square upon factorial 2, n upon 1, 3 means 1 upon z whole cube factorial 3, and plus 1 up to infinity. Right? If you see this series, I think this is directly exponential series, because you know that e to power x equal to 1 plus x square 1 factorial 2 plus s cube by factorial 3, and so on. So directly we can write it e to power 1 upon z, and that is your required result. That is your answer of this question. Now, similarly, we take the third example. That is, you have to prove that Z transform of n is directly simple sequence z upon z minus 1 to this. This is this third example. Well, n is sequence means this is simple sequence of numbers, sequence of integers, n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so on. These are the simple sequences, right? So solution of this, again by definition, z of n equal to sigma n equal to 0 to infinity n z to power minus, right? It can be written as n equal to 0 to infinity n upon z to power n. Now, if you substitute the values and expand this series by putting n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. First we take 0, second we, after putting n equal to 1, that is 1 by z, after putting n equal to 2, that is 2 by z square, after n equal to 3, that is 3 by z cube, 4 by z4 and plus 1 up to infinity, right? This is 0. From second term, if we take common 1 by z, then 1 plus 2 by z plus 3 by z square, that is 4 by z cube plus 1 up to infinity, right? If you see this series, so this is simple binary series, and binary series like that, if such type of series minus n, you can expand this in form of binary series, then you get 1 plus nx plus minus n into minus n minus 1 upon factorial 2 x square plus 1, right? So by this series, we see that this is simply 1 minus 1 by z whole power minus 2, because first term is 2, n is here 2, right? Now calculate this. If you take the LCM, first this is 1 by z, this is 1 minus 1 by z whole square. If we take the LCM, 1 z is cancelled out, and this is z minus 1 whole square, and that is your required result. That is your this one expression, right? So these are I took these three examples to clear concept of Z transform very openly. I think after these three examples, if you go through these examples and take the concept of solving these, so you will more clear about the Z transform. Now I am taking various properties of Z transform by which you can solve some more typical type of the sums, right? What are the properties? Properties are some theorem, you can say. Properties of Z transform. First property is linearity. What is the statement of the property? If un, vn, wn are three sequences and a, b, c are simple constants, then Z transform of A un, B vn minus C wn is equal to A u A Z transform of un, B times Z transform of vn minus C times Z transform of wn, right? This is the linear property. What is the meaning of this property? If you see left hand side, there is a linear combination of the sequences with the constants, and this linear combination containing plus sign as well as negative sign, right? So this property shows you can take Z transform inside the bracket after taking constants as a common, and Z transform can be applied directly on the given sequence, right? Like differentiation, integration, and so on. First, verification of this, that is very simple. Proof of this, if we take left hand side, then Z equal to A un plus B vn C wn. By definition of Z transform, this is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity A un B vn C wn and into Z to power minus some. Then you know that by the property of summation sigma sign, you can take sigma sign in the bracket and you can take constant terms which is independent of sigma values can be taken outside the calculation. So by that property, first we get sigma un Z to power minus n equal to 0 to infinity. Second, Bn equal to 0 to infinity. Vn z to power minus n minus c times sigma n equal to 0 to infinity. Wn z to power minus n, right? And by definition, you see that what is this? This is z transform of un. This is z transform of vn. This is z transform of wn, and that is your right hand side of the property. Right? Now, property is verified, property is proved. This is the first property of Z transform. The meaning of this property is simply if we have an expression of various sequences with some constants and with the positive and negative sign, so we can Z transform inside the bracket after taking constant take as a common from the calculation, and you can calculate by the definition of Z transform, and you will get the result. Now, second property. That is damping rule. Damping rule. What is the damping rule? What is this? If statement, if Z transform of un is equal to u of z, right? Then Z transform of a to power minus n un is equal to u of z by a. Right? Sorry, a is it multiply. Right? That is a is it. This is the second property, and this is called damping rule, and also some a to power minus n, and you can take as a to power plus n, then that is converted into the division. This is the corollary of this damping rule. First, we verify this. What is the proof? If we take directly left hand side, that is Z transform of a to power minus n un. Then by definition, this is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity a minus n un into z to power minus n. You take this combined simple sequence and then multiply by z to power minus n. It can be written as n power infinity to 0 to cn a to power n minus n z to power n can be combined a to power minus n. Right? Now, by this statement, it is given that because you know that this is sigma n equal to 0 to infinity un z to power minus n. If you take this equation 1, so by equation 1, it can be written as z transform of az, or you can write this, that is the u of az by this equation 1, right? And this is, I think, your right hand side of this property. Similarly, you can take this. If we take z transform a to power positive n, then it can be expressed u of a upon z. You can take this. This is just only if we take the positive power in place of a to power minus n. If we take a to power n, so then it becomes result becomes this. You can verify simply by the similar methods, right? This was the second property. Now, third property, that is the shifting property, or you can say shifting theorem. Shifting property or shifting theorem. What is the statement, and then what is the verification or proof of this property? Shifting property is if u of, similarly, if we take the sequence, if u of z transform of u to power n equal to u of z, similar, and k is a positive number, k is a positive, then there are two shifting properties. First, z transform of u n minus k. Right? this is simply z to power minus k and u of z. Right? That is the first. Second, if we shift in partition side, that is u n plus k, then this is equal to z to power k in bracket u of z minus u of 0 minus u1 z to power minus 1 minus u2 z to power minus 2 and so on, u to power k minus 1 and z to power minus k minus 1. This is very important property, very useful property to solve some typical type of numerical example, and I will take such example to explain this. And first we verify this. In first case, if we take z of u n minus k, then by definition sigma n equal to 0 to infinity u n minus k and z to power minus n, right? And we can open this because k is positive, and you know that un is 0 for n is less than 0. If n negative index or negative indices are, if indices are negative, then sequence of vanishes. So if you open this, it will be open from n equal to k, and before k it will be vanishing. And n equal to k means 0, z to power minus k for n equal to k, n equal to k plus 1, that is u k plus 1 means u1 z to power k plus 1, u2 z to power minus k plus 2 and plus 1, right, up to infinity. If you take z to power minus k as a common, u0, u1 z to power minus 1, u2 z to power minus 2 and so on up to infinity. If you see that this is z to power k and this is z transform of un, right? And this is your required right hand side of the first, and this is your force shifting property. Simply I do this, you always remember, because un is 0 for negative n. For negative n means for the all negative indices means u minus 1, u minus 2, u minus 3 are vanishing. So if you open from n equal to 0, for n equal to 0, that is u minus k, and u minus k, because k is positive, will give you u minus 1, u minus 2, all of the 0. So it will be start from n equal to k. So we substitute the values here, n equal to k, k plus 1, k plus 2 and so on up to infinity. This is the proof of first property. Now, similarly, what is the proof of second property? Shifting property. If we take u of z of directly n plus k, right? Then what is the definition? Then definition, by definition, n equal to 0 to infinity u of n plus k z to power minus n, right? It can be converted, shifting some manipulated, as if we multiply by z to power k and divided by z to power k, it will be combined with this n plus k and z to power minus n plus k, right? The equation in this form. Now if you open this by putting n equal to 0 and so on, split into two parts. This series will break into two parts as this is z to power k. In first part, we take n equal to 0 to infinity u and z to power minus n, means entire series. In second part, n equal to 0 to k minus 1 u and z to power minus n, right? If you see this, because if you open this again n equal to 0 to uk and so on, so this series is actually if you put here from n equal to 0 and expand this series, the series will start from k, right? uk, first one uk, and after putting n equal to 0, uk equal to z to power minus k, then uk plus 1 z to power minus k1. So first part means u from u0 to uk is missing. So we adding this and subtracting this, right? And now if you see this, this is simply z transform of u. If you open this, then we get u naught n equal to 1, then u1 z to power minus 1, then u2 z to power minus 2, and so on. Last term, that is minus uk minus 1 and z to power minus k minus 1, right? And I think this is your required right hand side, and this prove and verify the second shifting property, right? This is very important property, and also proof of shifting property is important. So I do this, and again I just now my time is finishing, so I want to sum up the lecture of today. So I discussed about the Z transform. In this lecture, I discussed what is the Z transform, and as I earlier told you, transform means if we have to transform any sequence, any function into another form by using some mathematical tool. Here, tool is infinite series. So in Z transform, if you take any sequence, so you by the infinite series, you can convert it to a complex function, means function of Z. As I give the definition of Z transform basic, and then just inverse of that transform, and then I took some numerical example how you can find that directly, simply if your sequence are given, by definition how you can find the Z transform of given sequences. But in other part there are some more you can say typical type of the sums by which you cannot solve directly in simple method, in short method. So here we use some properties. So I was discussing properties in which I will discuss linear property, in which Z transform can be expanded, can be opened in any linear combination. Second, I discussed damped property, and third, I discussed the shifting property. Right? Now, up to this lecture, please go through this and clear your concept. In next lecture, I will discuss some other properties, and then what are the applications of this property, means how can use these properties to solve the typical type of the mathematical problem. Okay, thank you.